So Lorenzo, you have been the host of Lorenzos Locks for years now. So this week, I'm gonna ask you your 3 locks of the season. So you ready?
Let's do it.
Okay, so let's start off. Lock number 1. So which teams do you think are gonna shock fans this season? This could be good, this could be bad, but basically the teams who are definitely not who we think they are. Go.
Yeah, so I'm going to take a quick look at the AFC because to me, that's the most fascinating conference. And I see some shuffling coming. And I think the North is due for a down year. Actually, I have both of the Steelers and the Ravens out of the playoffs.
Okay, so we got some hot takes. I don't know how many people would agree with you for that, but I'm curious why you think that these 2 perennial juggernauts aren't going to make it. Like, who do you think is going to make it?
Yeah, so for Baltimore, it just feels like that window is quickly closing, and Pittsburgh, let's just say the last third of last season was yikes. And in their place, I'm putting the Patriots and the Chargers in the wild card because that roster in New England is night and day better, and I low-key love what's happening in LA. Justin Herbert is going to be a star and pop off, and Brandon Staley might be one of the smartest dudes I've spoken to. We legit had a conversation at the scouting combine about how he could translate Michael Lewis books to coaching in the NFL.
Okay, so moving on to lock number 2. Which rookies do you think will have the biggest impact on the league from the get-go? I know we got some good ones.
Yeah, this is gonna be really fun. I think Trevor's gonna shine, but that just feels obvious. Mac Jones should be a pretty steady game manager, but I've got my eye on Justin Fields. I picked him to be the offensive rookie of the year because I just love his skill set, and I don't get how some people are still sleeping on him. And I think the thing in Chicago is that when Dalton starts to struggle, and it feels like it's only a matter of time before that happens, the contrast of Fields is going to be something fierce. On defense, Micah Parsons is just one of those dudes that you put on the field and let him do his thing. And I also love Kwity Paye in D2 with Matt Eberflus as his DC.
Now finally, of course, last but not least, the most important question. Who is going to be holding the Lombardi Trophy in LA in February? How do you see this all shaking out?
Yeah, so quick disclaimer, in my 8 years of doing this, I've never gotten this once right in the preseason, so there's that. But I just cannot get this image of Aaron Rodgers and the Packers walking off the field in LA with another Lombardi in his hands. I get that there was drama, but Aaron is one of those maniacs who uses this stuff to take his game to another level. The Packers drafted Jordan Love. All right, well, he just went out and won the league MVP. This all has a last dance feel to it, and the relationship between Rodgers and the front office, at least now, is workable. On the other side, I have the Bills and Josh Allen taking their next step, but I wonder how much longer they'll have because Brian Daboll and Leslie Frazier should be up for head coaching gigs after this season. But that roster is good enough and now experienced enough where it's time for them to make some real noise.
I'm curious why you don't see a repeat from Tampa making it back to the big game.
Yeah, so the Buccaneers, that roster, it's ready to go. It gelled, they have the experience, it's ready to go, but the whole process of repeating is just so difficult. You come in, and I know players don't like to talk about this, coaches don't like to talk about this, but they remember last year as much as they're on to the next year or whatever. They remember it, and there's a little bit of lag and a little bit of a hangover there. So I think Tampa's going to be nasty, but I just don't see them making it all the way because it's a grind.
So we got 3 locks from you, but you can get his 3 picks for each week of the season on Lorenzos Locks for Bet for the Win. Hey sports fans, if you want to watch more sports seriously, be sure to check out these clips right here. And make sure you're subscribed to the channel to see all the great content from us here at USA Today Sports.